Guten Abend, mein Damen und Herren. Miss Passiert back with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes commentary video, and today I'm very excited to bring you some Darth Traya Arena gameplay. In this first match, I went with an Emperor Palpatine lead. He doesn't have his Zeta on there, as you can see right there. And actually, all of these characters are Gear 11 except for Nihilus, and the only character with a Zeta right now in this footage is Darth Nihilus with his leader and unique, which obviously his leader is out of play here, but his unique is completely in play. You'll notice from the gameplay that I decided to try this first. I threw Emperor Palpatine in there. Obviously, I didn't really think too much about it because I didn't give him a Zeta, but I kind of wanted to see what Traya could do in a support role. Isolate is her... It's like Fracture on steroids. What it does is it will prevent an ally or an enemy from gaining all kinds of positive status effects, turn meter, all that kind of stuff. They can still be healed, but they are basically isolated from everybody else on their squad. So it's actually incredibly useful for taking an enemy tank completely out of the equation. Her Saber Storm deals special damage to a target enemy, inflicts tenacity down for 2 turns. If she has full health, she deals an additional damage and inflicts ability block for 2 turns. And if the target is buffed, she deals damage another time and inflicts healing immunity. So this is an attack that can deal damage 3 times, which it can get pretty nasty. I mean, this is only 5-star Gear 11 Traya, and she can deal some wicked damage with Saber Storm. So that ability is extremely potent, and you'll see that she is way more effective when she is in her leadership role, which I'm going to tell you guys right now that her leader Zeta is, no questions asked, the immediate first Zeta. Her unique is probably a little bit more of a niche Zeta. I probably wouldn't even use that Zeta right now because I think one of the only squads that stands up to Darth Traya is Emperor Palpatine. And if you use her unique, you're going to be feeding turn meter to an Emperor Palpatine team all over the place. Her unique strips negative status effects from Sith allies and deals damage equal to 5% of their health for every negative status effect that she clears this way. It's not an active, it's a passive strip. So there's not any way for you to choose which ally you're removing the negative status effects from. It just happens at the beginning of her turn. So that is going to basically just continue to feed turn meter to an enemy Emperor Palpatine squad, which will, as you will see later, I actually went up against an Emperor Palpatine nightmare-ish squad, and oh man, it was something. that's definitely what it was. This squad here was actually, I was very surprised I was able to actually pull a victory out of there. Sion, which is, as you can see, is only 5 stars in this footage, so kind of give a little bit more of a free-to-play feel for this footage here. He is just brutal. He's amazing. I was thoroughly impressed with Sion's performance in this footage. Now, with Darth Traya, you definitely are going to want to run her in the leader role with Sith. You don't necessarily have to use Emperor Palpatine because part of her leader ability is it heals all Sith allies for 10% of their health every time an enemy who is debuffed takes damage. So right there, if you've got 4 or 5 people on the enemy squad who are debuffed, which is another reason Darth Nihilus unique is useful, because at the beginning of every enemy turn, they get that health down for 2 turns, I believe. So Nihilus unique works very, very well with Darth Traya. You're going to be healing Sith like crazy, which is going to be very useful against a particular enemy squad, which you'll be able to figure that out. As you can see, Darth Traya with that Saber Storm absolutely wrecked the enemies there. So yeah, Darth Traya's leader ability is cash money. It's amazing. One Sith that I wanted to try out that I didn't think to try out was Count Dooku. Count Dooku with his counterattacks. Every time he counterattacks an enemy and they're debuffed, I mean, that's going to heal all of your allies for 10 or 20% of their health. So, yeah, Count Dooku could potentially feed health to his allies. Just crazy. So, Nightsisters are a walk in the park for Darth Traya. She is going to end any Nightsister meta on your arena shard. If your arena shard is polluted with Nightsisters, one Darth Traya team will end that swiftly. Isolate the zombie, and the zombie cannot gain taunt again. Easy. You just avoid the zombie, kill everything else, then kill the zombie. It is so easy. Like, it's so easy a caveman could do it. So, yeah, so this, I was actually like, yeah, I wonder if the Nightsisters are going to give me any trouble. Yeah, the resounding answer is no, because every time you deal damage, you're getting 10% health back. Every time Nihilus does his force drain, every time Emperor Palpatine uses his AoE shock, I mean, it's just, yeah. So, his lightning storm, whatever it is, everybody's getting healed. So the Sith have absolutely like no way to keep plague on them at all. So Nightsisters walk in the park for Darth Traya and her Sith allies. It's just no-brainer. So going on to a Rex lead Wampa squad. Now this one is a little bit different. It's got Hermit Yoda instead of General Kenobi, but honestly, General Kenobi wouldn't have given this squad any trouble at all, because all you gotta do, isolate General Kenobi, he can't taunt anymore, and then you just mop up the trash. This squad, I did kind of make a little bit of a mistake there. I used Darth Sion's ability to clear debuff or positive stat buffs off of the enemies before Rex used his tenacity up. I thought, oh man, that might be an issue. No, it wasn't an issue. I did get a little bit happy with, attacking the Wampa here, caused a few extra counterattacks that really shouldn't have happened. And as you can see, Saber Storm pretty much almost one-shot Rex, which, I mean, holy moly, that's insane. I mean, Rex is squishy to begin with, but I was a little impressed with the amount of damage coming out of a 5-star, yes, 100% arena viable at 5-star Darth Traya, which you wouldn't really expect anything less. I mean, General Kenobi was arena viable at 5 stars, Han Solo a little less so, but Han Solo is a lot better now than he was in his first version. His first version was a little weak, a little bit, he fell victim to the power creep. But Darth Traya definitely is not going to fall victim to power creep anytime soon. In fact, I don't want to use the term overpowered, because she can be beat, but Darth Traya does bring a very menacing factor to the Sith, and I honestly cannot wait to unlock Darth Traya. I was a little less, excited to unlock her after the initial, honeymoon phase of seeing her kit, seeing that announcement, that kit reveal. Obviously, I was like giddy with excitement when I read that. I mean, you can go back and watch that video and listen to the excitement in my voice. But I was a little less excited, mostly probably because I wasn't a big fan. I'm still not really a big fan of the Sith Triumvirate raid. But seeing this gameplay, actually getting a chance to get my hands on her and actually play with Darth Traya for a little bit, has me like totally reinvigorated to like go in and just wreck the Sith Triumvirate raid, right? Probably not, but it definitely has me in a much better like attitude towards the Sith Triumvirate. Darth Traya is amazing. She's a lot of fun. She is going to be a little bit menacing, and honestly, I think that Emperor Palpatine, this Nightmare squad that I'm facing right here, is probably going to stand the best chance of beating Darth Traya in everyday arena setting. This squad actually doesn't have abnormally crazy speed mods on it either. This is actually Crazy Excuses Nightmare squad that I'm fighting here, and I think the most speed that she has on any one character on this squad is 98 or 95 speed. So it's not absolutely killer. If you're on a very mature shard, arena shard like I am, where people are running 110, 120 speed on all of their arena team members, this Nightmare Squad has relatively low speed compared to those really high-end whale arena shards. So I think, and I really only fought it one time because I was kind of just collecting gameplay as fast as I could. I think the Nightmare Squad, Emperor Palpatine, is still going to be a very potent arena squad in arenas after Darth Traya really starts to saturate arena squads or arena shards. This, I tried a little bit of a mirror squad here. I fought one of the other game changers who had Darth Traya, and you'll notice that almost everybody on this enemy squad is gear 12 and 7 stars, whereas I'm fighting with majorly gear 11, and 2 of my characters are 5 stars, and you will... It does look a little bit sketchy at first, but just watch, because this was a pretty incredible comeback. I was thoroughly impressed with the ability for Darth Traya to just... I mean, look at that. She just one-shot the enemy Darth Traya with Saberstorm. That ability is bonkers, guys. It deals so much damage. Now, granted, you got to keep Darth Traya at 100%. You got to target an enemy who has a buff. But she is capable of dealing some incredible damage with Saberstorm. And this is at 5 friggin' stars, guys. 5 stars. 5-star Traya is dealing that much damage. I hate to use the word OP, but man, she does some wicked damage. I will probably try and collect some more gameplay at 7 stars, gear 12, and kind of try and see if, how much of a difference there is. But, I mean, it's not like you're going to be able to farm her or you're going to have to spend money to get her to 7 stars. That's basically just a matter of time before you get her to 7 stars. But she is just so awesome. I was, like I said, guys, super impressed, super excited. Really makes me want to, save up the gear. Which, talking about gear, she does require one of those little, freaking hell, I can't think of the name of the actual piece. It's like the Mark 10 data pad or whatever it is. Basically, that little piece that you can only buy out of shipments. You can buy it out of the shard store, and you get it from the tank raid. Literally, those are the only 3 places that you can buy this stuff. And it seems like every stinking character needs them, and Traya needs at least one of those at gear 10. You can visit SWGoH.gg, SWGoH as Warrior likes to call it, to actually look up her full gear kit if you guys are starting to get close to unlocking Traya for yourselves. Definitely go look at her gear requirements, because she is definitely going to be a character that you want to get to gear 11 as soon as you get her unlocked, or as soon as possible after you get her unlocked. Now, like I said, this match really started to look like it was going downhill from the start, but I pulled the victory out with 4 of my characters still standing. Only Palpatine died, and I really feel like maybe Dooku would have been a better alternative to Palpatine on this particular fight because of his counterattacks. All of those counterattacks are just going to feed health to his allies as long as you're attacking a debuffed enemy, which, I mean, you saw debuffs were rampant on the enemy squad for the majority of this match. So Dooku would have just been feeding health and turn meter to himself and to his allies and everything else. He was amazing, and if you have that Zeta on Dooku, he's going to be replenishing his own protection as well. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share the crap out of this thing. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I will catch you all later.